An ordinary dime, or something far more valuable? Some Roosevelt dime coins have subtle details and rare minting errors that collectors are actively searching for. The surprising part? Most people never notice them. Take a closer look at your dimes. You might be holding a hidden treasure. In 1984, the 10-cent coin moved quietly through American life, exchanged in everyday purchases, dropped into vending machines, and often ignored as just another small piece of change. Most people never paused to look closely at a dime, especially one from the 1980s. But hidden among the millions produced that year at the Denver Mint were a few extraordinary pieces, error coins that would later capture the attention of collectors and sell for astonishing amounts, ranging from $50,230 to as high as $140, $250. The Roosevelt dime has been part of U.S. coinage since 1946, introduced shortly after the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt was not only a four-term president but also a central figure in guiding the United States through the Great Depression and World War II. His association with the March of Dimes campaign made him a fitting choice for the nation's 10-cent coin. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Roosevelt facing left, with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the year of minting. On coins struck at the Denver Mint, a small D mint mark appears just above the date, identifying its origin. The reverse design carries a deeper symbolic meaning. It features a torch in the center, representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength and independence. Surrounding these elements are the inscriptions "United States of America," "One Dime," and "E Pluribus Unum," tying the coin to the nation's ideals. The 1984 D. Roosevelt dime was produced by the United States Mint using modern high-speed minting technology. By the 1980s, the Mint had refined its processes to produce coins in massive quantities, ensuring a stable supply for the growing economy. However, the speed and scale of production also created the perfect conditions for small but significant errors to occur. A standard 1984 D. Roosevelt dime has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and an official weight of 2.27 grams. It is composed of a copper core sandwiched between layers of copper nickel, giving it a durable structure and its familiar silver-like appearance. For collectors, this precise weight of 2.27 grams is one of the most critical details when evaluating a coin. Even a slight variation in weight can signal something unusual. If a dime weighs significantly more or less than 2.27 grams, it may have been struck on the wrong planchet or experienced a minting anomaly. This is why experienced collectors often rely on accurate digital scales when examining coins, as weight can reveal hidden errors that are not immediately visible. The minting process begins with large sheets of metal that are punched into blank discs called planchets. These planchets are then cleaned and prepared before being fed into high-speed presses. Inside the press, two engraved dies strike the planchet with immense force, imprinting the design in a fraction of a second. While this process is highly efficient, it is not flawless. Mistakes can occur at various stages, and when they do, they create error coins that stand out from normal issues. One of the most intriguing errors associated with the 1984 D. Roosevelt dime is the double die variety. This error originates during the creation of the die itself. When the design is impressed onto the die more than once and the impressions are slightly misaligned, the resulting die produces coins with duplicated design elements. On some 1984 D dimes, collectors have observed doubling in the lettering, particularly in Liberty and the date. Under magnification, the letters appear thicker or show a shadow-like outline. Strong examples of double dies are highly sought after, especially when the doubling is clearly visible without excessive magnification. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not properly aligned in the coining press. Instead of receiving a centered design, the coin is struck with part of the image missing, leaving a blank area on one side. Off-center strikes can vary in severity, but the most valuable examples are those where a significant portion of the design is missing while the date and mint mark remain visible. In 2019, a high-grade 1984 D. Roosevelt dime with a dramatic off-center strike was sold at auction for approximately $50,230. Its unusual appearance made it instantly recognizable as a mint error, attracting strong interest from collectors. Perhaps the most valuable and rare errors involve wrong planchet strikes. This type of error occurs when a dime is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or composition. Since each coin type has specific size and weight standards, the resulting coin often looks and feels noticeably different. For example, a dime struck on a penny planchet would be lighter and have a copper color, while one struck on a foreign planchet might have a completely different appearance. These errors are extremely rare because planchets are carefully sorted before minting. However, rare examples do exist. In 2021, a remarkable 1984 D. Roosevelt dime struck on an incorrect planchet was authenticated by professional grading services. The coin's unusual weight and distinctive color confirmed the error. When it was later sold through a major auction house, collectors competed intensely, and the coin ultimately realized a price of approximately $140. $250. A condition plays a major role in determining a coin's value. Most dimes spend years in circulation, accumulating wear and losing their original luster. A rare error coin that remains in mint state condition, showing no signs of wear, can command significantly higher prices. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on strict criteria, including surface quality, strike sharpness, luster, and overall eye appeal. Coins graded MS65 or higher are considered premium, and when combined with rare mint errors, they can reach extraordinary values. The appeal of the 1984 D. Roosevelt dime lies in its accessibility. Unlike ancient or rare coins that are difficult to find, these dimes were produced in large numbers and are still relatively modern. Many remain hidden in everyday places such as old jars, drawers, or forgotten collections. Collectors searching for valuable examples often begin by examining the date and mint mark carefully. A magnifying glass can reveal doubled lettering or other unusual features. Weighing the coin to confirm the official 2.27 gram standard can also help identify rare planchet errors. Auction records showing values between $50,230 and $140,250 demonstrate how a small minting mistake can transform an ordinary 10-cent coin into a highly valuable collectible. What was once used for everyday transactions can become a rare and desirable piece of numismatic history. Among the millions of dimes produced in 1984, a few extraordinary coins quietly left the mint carrying unique flaws. Decades later, these rare error coins continue to surface in unexpected places, reminding collectors and everyday people alike that even the smallest and most overlooked coins can hold remarkable value and untold stories. In 2006, millions of dimes quietly entered circulation across the United States, slipping into wallets, cash registers, and coin jars without attracting much attention. They were part of everyday life, used for small purchases, forgotten in pockets, or tossed into drawers at the end of the day. But among these ordinary coins were a few rare error pieces, struck under unusual circumstances, that would later capture the fascination of collectors and sell for remarkable amounts ranging from $39,120 to as high as $116. For 50, the Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946, was created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose leadership during some of the most challenging times in American history left a lasting legacy. His connection to the March of Dimes campaign made his image especially meaningful on the 10-cent coin. The obverse of the 2006 dime features Roosevelt's portrait facing left, accompanied by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 2006. The reverse displays a powerful symbolic design, a torch at the center representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. Around the rim are the words United States of America, one dime, and E pluribus unum, reinforcing the coin's national identity. These coins were produced by the United States Mint using advanced minting technology capable of producing coins at extremely high speeds. By 2006, the Mint had refined its processes to ensure efficiency and consistency, but even with modern equipment, errors could still occur, and when they did, they created coins that stood out dramatically from the rest. A standard 2006 Roosevelt dime has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and an official weight of 2.27 grams. Its composition consists of a pure copper core layered between copper-nickel cladding, giving it a durable structure and its familiar silver-like appearance. For collectors, this precise weight of 2.27 grams is a critical diagnostic tool. Even a slight variation in weight can indicate a potential error. A coin that weighs less or more than expected may have been struck on the wrong planchet or may be missing part of its metal layers. Because of this, experienced collectors often rely on digital scales to confirm whether a coin matches the official standard. The minting process begins with large coils of metal that are rolled into thin sheets. From these sheets, blank discs known as planchets are punched out. These planchets are then cleaned, polished, and prepared for striking. Once ready, they are fed into high-speed presses where engraved dies strike them with immense force, imprinting the coin's design in a fraction of a second. Despite strict quality control measures, the sheer volume of coins being produced means that occasional errors are inevitable. These errors can occur during die creation, planchet preparation, or the striking process itself, resulting in coins with unique and often valuable characteristics. One of the most intriguing errors found in 2006 Roosevelt dimes is the double die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one impression from the master hub, and those impressions are slightly misaligned. The result is a die that produces coins with duplicated design elements. Collectors have identified examples of doubling in the lettering, particularly in Liberty and the date. Under magnification, these areas appear thicker or show a shadow-like effect. Strong double die examples are especially valuable because the error originates from the die itself, meaning every coin struck from that die shares the same feature. Another visually striking error is the off-center strike. This happens when the planchet is not properly aligned between the dies during striking. As a result, the design is shifted to one side, leaving a blank portion of the coin where no design was imprinted. Off-center errors vary in severity, but the most desirable examples are those where a significant portion of the design is missing while the date remains visible. In 2018, a high-grade 2006 Roosevelt dime with a dramatic off-center strike was sold at auction for approximately $39,120. Its unusual appearance made it highly sought after among collectors who specialize in mint errors. One of the most valuable categories of errors involves wrong planchet strikes. This type of error occurs when a dime is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a foreign coin. Because each type of coin has specific size and weight requirements, the resulting piece often looks noticeably different from a standard dime. For instance, a dime struck on a penny planchet would appear copper-colored and weigh less than the standard 2.27 grams. Similarly, a dime struck on a foreign planchet might have a completely different thickness or diameter. These errors are extremely rare because planchets are carefully sorted and inspected before being fed into the presses. However, rare examples do surface. In 2021, a remarkable 2006 Roosevelt dime struck on an incorrect planchet was authenticated by professional grading services. The coin's unusual weight and distinctive appearance confirmed its authenticity as a mint error. When it was later offered at auction, collectors competed aggressively, and the coin ultimately sold for approximately $116. For 50. Condition is another critical factor in determining value. Most dimes circulate for years, accumulating scratches, wear, and loss of luster. A rare error coin that remains in mint state condition, meaning it shows no signs of circulation, can command significantly higher prices because of its pristine appearance. Professional grading services assess coins based on strict criteria, including surface preservation, strike quality, luster, and overall eye appeal. Coins graded MS65 or higher are considered premium examples, and when combined with rare errors, they can achieve exceptional values. What makes the 2006 Roosevelt dime especially fascinating is that it is a relatively modern coin. Unlike older coins that may already be locked away in collections, many 2006 dimes are still in circulation or sitting unnoticed in everyday places such as jars, drawers, and old piggy banks. Collectors searching for valuable examples often begin by carefully examining the coin's details. A magnifying glass can reveal subtle doubling or other irregularities, while a digital scale can confirm whether the coin matches the official 2.27 gram standard. Auction records showing values between $39,120 and $116,450 highlight how a small minting mistake can transform an ordinary 10-cent coin into a highly valuable collectible. What once served as simple pocket change can become a rare artifact with both historical and financial significance. Among the millions of dimes produced in 2006, A few extraordinary pieces quietly left the mint carrying unique flaws. Years later, these coins continue to appear in unexpected places, reminding collectors and everyday individuals alike that even the smallest coins can hold remarkable stories and hidden value waiting to be discovered. In 2011, the Roosevelt dime continued its quiet journey through modern American life, moving from cash registers to pockets, from wallets to jars on kitchen counters. It was a coin so common that most people never thought twice about it. Yet among the millions of dimes struck that year at the Philadelphia Mint, a handful carried subtle but powerful mistakes, errors that would later transform these ordinary coins into prized collectibles worth anywhere between $32,320 and $95. For 50, the Roosevelt dime has represented American coinage since 1946, introduced in honor of Franklin D. Roosevelt. His leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, along with his connection to the March of Dimes campaign, made him a natural choice for the 10-cent coin. Decades later, his portrait remains one of the most recognizable images in U.S. currency. The obverse of the 2011 P dime features Roosevelt's profile facing left, surrounded by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 2011. A small P mint mark appears near the date, indicating that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. On the reverse, the design remains symbolic and consistent with earlier issues. A torch stands at the center, representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch symbolizing peace and an oak branch representing strength. Around these elements appear the inscriptions United States of America, 1 dime, and E pluribus unum, reinforcing the coin's connection to national identity. The coin was produced by the United States Mint using modern, high-speed minting equipment. By 2011, technology had advanced to the point where coins could be produced with remarkable precision and efficiency. However, even with these advancements, the sheer scale of production meant that occasional errors still slipped through quality control. A standard 2011 P Roosevelt dime has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and an official weight of 2.27 grams. It is composed of a copper core clad with a copper-nickel alloy, giving it durability and its familiar silvery appearance. For collectors, this exact weight, 2.27 grams, is one of the most important indicators when evaluating a coin for potential errors. A slight deviation from the standard weight can signal something unusual. If a dime weighs significantly less or more than 2.27 grams, it may have been struck on an incorrect planchet or experienced a production anomaly. Because of this, experienced collectors often use precise digital scales as part of their examination process. The journey of each coin begins with large metal sheets that are punched into blank discs known as planchets. These blanks are then cleaned, polished, and fed into coining presses. Inside the press, 2 dies strike the planchet with immense pressure, imprinting the design onto both sides in a fraction of a second. Despite advanced machinery, errors can occur at different stages of this process. When they do, they create coins that stand out from the standard issues and become highly desirable among collectors. One of the most fascinating errors found in some 2011 P Roosevelt dimes is the double die variety. This error originates during the creation of the die itself. If the design is impressed onto the die more than once at slightly different angles, the die carries duplicated design elements. Coins struck from such a die display visible doubling, often noticeable in the lettering. On certain 2011 P dimes, collectors have identified doubling in Liberty and the date. Under magnification, these areas appear thicker or show a shadow-like effect. Strong double die examples are particularly valuable because they are rare and visually distinctive. Another striking error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not correctly aligned in the coining press. Instead of receiving a centered design, the coin is struck with part of the image missing, leaving a blank space along the edge. Off-center errors can range from minor misalignments to dramatic shifts where a large portion of the design is missing. The most valuable examples are those where the error is clearly visible while the date and mint mark remain intact. In 2020, a well-preserved 2011 P Roosevelt dime with a strong off-center strike was sold at auction for approximately $32,320, demonstrating how even modern coins can achieve significant value when errors are present. Among the rarest and most valuable errors are wrong planchet strikes. This occurs when a dime is struck on a blank intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin. Since each planchet has specific size and weight characteristics, the resulting coin often looks dramatically different. For example, a dime struck on a penny planchet would appear copper-colored and weigh less than the standard 2.27 grams. These errors are extremely rare because the mint carefully separates planchets before striking coins. However, occasional mix-ups do happen. In 2022. A remarkable 2011 P. Roosevelt dime struck on an incorrect planchet was authenticated by professional grading experts. The coin's unusual weight and distinct appearance confirmed its authenticity. When it was later offered at auction, it attracted significant attention from collectors and ultimately sold for approximately $95,450, placing it among the most valuable examples from that year. Condition plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. Most dimes enter circulation and quickly accumulate wear, losing their original luster and detail. However, error coins that remain in mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of wear, are far more valuable. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on factors such as surface preservation, strike quality, luster, and overall eye appeal. Coins graded MS65 or higher are considered premium examples, and when combined with rare errors, they can command exceptional prices. What makes the 2011 P. Roosevelt dime particularly exciting is its accessibility. These coins are relatively recent and were produced in large numbers, meaning they can still be found in circulation or in everyday storage places like jars, drawers, and coin collections that have not been closely examined. Collectors often begin their search by carefully checking the date and mint mark. Using a magnifying glass, they look for signs of doubling or other unusual features. Weighing the coin to confirm the official 2.27 gram standard can also reveal hidden errors that might otherwise go unnoticed. Auction records showing values between $32,320 and $95,450 highlight how even a modern 10-cent coin can become a valuable collectible when a rare error is involved. What seems like ordinary pocket change can hold extraordinary value if it carries the right characteristics. Among the millions of dimes produced in 2011, a few unique pieces quietly left the mint with unusual flaws. Years later, these rare coins continue to surface in unexpected places, reminding collectors and everyday individuals alike that even the smallest coins can carry hidden stories, and sometimes remarkable worth.